Hey guys, it's pissing hard here. It's absolutely pissing hard. Raining so much, but it's all good. It's quite nice actually, it's quite refreshing. I have some memories of when I was a kid in the rain, when I'd go out into the garden and sit in the garden with an umbrella above my head because I just loved to listen to the sound of rain. Anyway, I digress. This video actually is about clarity, something called clarity, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are pretty clear on what clarity means. Now, I will give you my definition anyway. Clarity ultimately is to be able to see the path ahead of where you want to go. So where you are right now and where you want to be, that gap in between usually is kind of a bit like this actually, where sometimes you can't see very far. And that can be really frustrating. It can cause, frustration, overwhelm, anger, and it can be a horrible place. And I used to spend a lot of my time in that place. It was so frustrating. And more often than not, you just want to bang your head against the wall, especially when you're trying to grow your business, you're trying to set up your life in the way that you want to live. But ultimately, when you have clarity, or when you find clarity, when you find that clear road, that path to where you want to get to, all of a sudden, everything changes. Your whole state of mind can completely change. And ultimately what happens from a scientific perspective, neuroscience as well, is you just switch on that part of your brain that's kind of future thinking and looking into the distance. And all of a sudden that part of your brain switches on, and then all of a sudden you just feel this joy, this happiness, this power that ignites this extra motivation that you didn't know you had. And all of a sudden you'll naturally find yourself gravitating and moving towards where you want to get to. Now, I don't mean you're just going to suddenly start floating to where you want to get to. Obviously you have to take action. But that action becomes a lot easier. It doesn't feel like you're banging your head against the wall. It actually flows, which is a very, very powerful place. Now, have you ever experienced that before? Now, think back to maybe a time in your life where you did feel frustrated, and maybe not necessarily linked to the area that you may feel an element of frustration with now. It may not necessarily be business related, or it might have been early on in business days where you didn't really know what kind of thing you wanted to go out into the world and do. I want you to think back to those times, and then I want you to kind of think about when you found that clarity, when that light bulb clicked in your head and you found that unstoppable motivation to take action and create a result. The reason why I want you to think about that and feel that is because if you're feeling frustrated right now and you don't have the clarity, then that will just give you a little bit of an insight into how it feels when you finally find that click again. So my invitation to you is just to keep looking for answers. Ask yourself, try and imagine how it feels to find the clarity. Like, how does that feel when you do find that clarity? And maybe from that feeling, you might actually come up with some answers. But I wanted to share that with you anyway. And in conclusion, clarity equals power. Clarity equals non-stop motivation that's going to keep you moving forward. So if right now you haven't got clarity, then find clarity, and that will give you the motivation to step up and take your life to wherever you want to take it. Take care. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the rain now, and I'll speak to you very soon. See you later.